All right, today we're going to talk about the attraction cheat code that probably has a bad name. And it's not because it's bad or it's evil or it's wrong. It's just that it's been abused and wrongly used over and over again. Today we're going to talk about the attraction cheat code that we call scarcity. Now, you see, immediately when you say scarcity, most people think, oh, it's something that I have to do to try to manipulate people into buying from me. And the problem is 99.9% of the people that use scarcity are doing just that. So in essence, yes, you're correct if you're going to use this unethically and lie to people. Now, one of the things you need to realize is that scarcity is embedded in all of us. I mean, think about when the toilet paper ran out. People immediately started to feel scarce about things. Or when all of a sudden you heard there was not going to be any beef left, right? Or pork or chicken. Oh my gosh, I got to do all this stuff. And so whenever there's a point where people are worried about a supply of something valuable drying up, they're going to do anything to make sure that it doesn't negatively impact them and they're not left out in the cold. Now, the problem is that people aren't approaching scarcity the right way. Now, when I worked for the university, I used scarcity almost every single time. But I did it the right way. I was 100% forthright, 100% honest, whereas the person next to me, on that side too, who knows, but on that side was using scarcity the wrong way, and they were being unethical and they were lying about it. So what do we do differently? Well, when you look at the product or the service or your company or whatever it is, they're going to have a certain scarcity dynamic. Think of it like a big circle, right? And so you have to operate within that. So the question is, can they call back next week and get your product? I mean, by talking to you or somebody else. Now, in some companies, they can't. They just can't. Like they're seasonal products, or the company makes a decision they're only going to offer it a couple times a year. It could be any number of things. So if that's the case, then yeah, you can't go telling people that, oh, you need to make your decision right now or else. I mean, that's not being true. Now, what I did is I realized that, and I'm like, well, I really do like the idea of scarcity, but I'm not going to lie to people. So one of the things that I did is I said, okay, we have that round circle, right? But that's the companies. I have a more narrow circle. Mine's a stricter circle. And so one of the things that I did is I set out criteria of things that I was going to do in my sales job. So number one, I had a certain type of person that I wanted to work with. I had a certain type of person that I didn't want to work with, characteristics. But I set a maximum amount of people that I would work with on a given week. And so we would have people that would register for college or enroll, and there'd be certain start dates throughout the year. And I said, I just made the decision ahead of time. I'm not doing any more than this number on this day. I'm just not. It's not worth it. I can't be there for my students as well as I wanted them to be. And, I just think there's value in setting structure there. And so I actually did well enough that I was, I would have one or two spots usually pretty quickly open, where the rest of them were filled. And so I would tell them, look, I only have X number of slots left. So let's say I said I'm only going to do 5 per time. Then I'd say, look, I only have 5 left. It's true. Let's say I filled 3 of them. I only have 2 left. And there's not a deadline. It's not like, you have to, make up your mind out or you won't go to school. I mean, I tell them you can call back next week if you want. But there is a deadline that I'm having because I want to make sure that you're going to be responsive in class. If you're not responsive to me, you're not going to be responsive to your teacher. So I need this done by this time. And if it's not, you want to go here by all means, but you're going to be working with this girl Kalani next door, who's honestly the laziest person that I've ever worked with, and I did not respect her whatsoever. And so I would set this personal kind of scarcity dynamic for myself. If you want to work with me, you need to do this, and you have to have everything in by this time. If it's not, you're just not working with me. So, and at the same time, I wouldn't wait because once those 2 spots fill up, or 3 spots, or 1 spot fills up, we're not starting. So I wouldn't sit here and wait till the last minute if I were you. If you really want to get in and you want to work with me, then you need to get this in like immediately and make it a priority. And so usually they did. Sometimes they didn't. I'd send them to Kalani and they would immediately call me back and beg their way back in. So the question is, what are some things that you can do to tighten up your scarcity paradigm that you can say with full honesty, transparency, and forthrightness that once you've built your value, that you can immediately use and let them know about and trigger them to immediately pull the trigger. Because what scarcity does is it ends this game. It's like a game of chicken, right? They're saying, oh, I'm interested, but you're not really sure if they are. And you want to do something, but you don't really know if you're ever going to actually sign them up as a customer or not. Or maybe they want to sign up as a customer, but you don't, or vice versa. What scarcity does is basically it's like playing poker and you shove all your chips in and you say, I see you and I raise you. And at that point, there's no pretense left. Scarcity eliminates that pretense. And they realize that, listen, you have value. They can partake of your value if they want, or they can lose it. But they need to take an affirmative action if they want to continue the relationship. It's simple as that. So think about some things you can do to really create honest, genuine scarcity in your sales process, and let me know. My email address is matt@salescheatcode.com, and leave a comment if you want as well, and we'll talk soon. To get more information on the Sales Cheat Code, go ahead and click on the subscribe button below. Also, down below in the video description, down there, there's a link that takes you to our website that gives you additional content, some additional freebies that we have, and gives you information on some programs that we have that have been proven to help people to make sales easy so that you can make the kind of money you want, live the lifestyle that you've always wanted, and not have to struggle in the process. And what might be the coolest thing of all is you don't have to put much effort into it. It truly is a cheat code that most people don't know about. And it's a cheat code that can change your life today. So click on the link below and let me help you start to experience these results starting right now.